Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to retrounlim.com. The only site for everything retro. The Retro Unlim Network for everything retro. retrounlim.com.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to I Got Gameplay. Yes, this is another episode, and I'd like to welcome a few people back, because you know what, you guys, you've really, really done an amazing job listening to I Got Gameplay, because we've actually had a few episodes boosted in terms of what's been going on, and in terms of our game collection episode with Rodman has reached over 700 listens. It's something that I want to say a great big thank you to everyone. Thank you for your continued support. And thank you to all those who are taking your time out to listen to our show. And even thank you to the trolls who don't really understand what game production is about. But still, we love you, trolls. We really, really do. Now, speaking of trolls, we'd like to welcome back the man who basically has the biggest dick on the planet and was away procreating in Pax East. That man, of course, is none other than Zack. My dick is so huge, I have to throw it over my shoulder, Latour.
What's up, everybody? Now, to be fair, we're still, we know once we explore other galaxies, maybe proven, not true. But as right now, it's the biggest dick that's been seen.
Well, are you looking at doing a James T. Kirk and seeing if you could fuck a green bitch?
Well, I'd do it just to say I did it.
What?
Hey, Kyla.
Hello!
Speaking of someone who wants to explore galaxies, especially those to probably get away from Zack Latour, we have the other half of Getting Your Nerd On, a.k.a. Gyno, to anybody who actually bothers to listen.
Gyno's not just for women anymore.
No, it's for nerds too. And we'd like to welcome back, of course, someone who's had an extended hiatus and who's finally bothered to show up. That is Miss Kyla, the Tidro. Kyla, we love you, Kyla. I'm only joking.
Sorry.
we missed you. That's the problem. We have to deal with Zack all ourselves, and Zack's a handful.
Welcome to my everyday life.
It's about 3 hands full. Thank you.
1.5.
It's like one of those gigantic subs. You just got to hold it like with. You have rows of people just holding on to it.
He can't wear shorts.
I can't. I have to wear, what are those other things called that go to your ankles?
A muumuu?
Capri.
No, like the pants women wear that like...
Capris.
Capris, yeah. No, I meant a muumuu. Yeah, capris, yeah.
What he does, he just tapes it, rolls it round himself twice, tapes it, puts on an XXL shirt and pretends he's fat.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the trick.
Zack, have you gained weight? Yes, in my penis.
In my dick.
Speaking of gaining weight in his penis, we have the man whose mouth is known by many and who also has the dirtiest mouth from Retro Unlim, apart from Zack Latour, of course. He is known as Mr. Unradio himself, Travis Goss.
Goddamn right, I have the dirtiest mouth this side of the Retro Unlim, and I'm fucking proud of it.
I can imagine, man, because you even invite your girlfriend onto the show. I'm surprised she hasn't just, called time in the relationship now. I've heard your mouth.
Hold on a second, Mr. Burhan. You are entering into the,
Danger zone.
Thank you.
Gotcha.
And by the way, she's not my girlfriend. She's my fiance. Let's get it right.
I do
Oh,
apologize.
boy.
I do apologize. I'm going to get beaten up in a second. He's going to take Zach's dick and just throw it over here and then beat me up.
Trust me, big boy. I certainly wouldn't want to do anything with this dick other than just, what with it.
You sure she's your girlfriend or fiance? Because it sounds like you're more interested in men.
I just do that voice just a little too well.
You do it a little too well, and now he's choking.
Danger zone!
I don't know what he's choking on, but he is choking. Speaking
I've
of...
gotten over my cough, so...
Oh, yeah, cough, that's what we call it. Speaking of someone who likes to contain their dick, we have the man who contains his dick into a box. He gave a whole new meaning of showing women his one-up, and also showing them his magic mushroom. He is Mr. Jeff Booch. Jeff, welcome back.
Oh, it's good to be back. Thanks for having me.
Hi.
What's up?
It's like Hollywood Squares, and Kyler's like just waving out at the top.
Yeah.
Look, I'm down here! And Zach's over there. I know, I touched his dick. Anyway.
You'll know.
Speaking of the radio show, of course, and dicks in boxes, we have the other half of the show himself. He is the man who knows too well what it's like to contain his dick in a box. Well, he tells me he contains it in an ice cream tub. He is Mr. Craig Kellerman.
Hey, what's going on? It's out of the box right now. So.
I know, you're giving a whole new meaning to the word extra chunky, don't you?
Uh-huh.
It's
extra round around the sides.
Would you like my Ben or my Jerry?
Oh.
So, going on from that, guys, it's welcomed everyone back to the show. Conspicuous by his absence, of course, is Mr. Xander Scullion, who tonight is playing with his band at the House of Blues. So,
Dude,
Xander,
I bet you they're going to bang every girl there afterwards.
He apparently he's the dude is so sexy he gets kissed by old people. That's how great he is. He was showing me like the amount of love he usually gets every time he does a gig. So I can hear ovaries exploding as soon as Xander starts playing. So that's what's gonna happen. He's just gonna be like, yeah, I'm in prison, Burhan. I'm like, why were you in prison, Xander? He's like, I killed everyone in the place. All their ovaries exploded, and as soon as I actually got on the mic. Poor Xander.
Woman slaughter.
Exactly. So, speaking of that, let's move on to the news. Now, we're going to go to Mr. Zack Latour, of course, because of a little welcome back. So, Zack, what's in the news this week?
One of my favorite things that I saw in the news is that NIS has some select RPGs coming to America this summer. Ooh. Or by America, probably PAL region also. I shouldn't be selfish. This says, never mind, this actually says North America release, so yeah. So the RPG is being Disgaea 4, A Promise Revisited, which is a port, I believe, of the PS3 game. I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce this. Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair. Those are both coming out for the PS Vita. And then Fairly Fencer F is coming out for the PS3. Disgaea is coming out August 12th. Danganronpa is coming out September 2nd, and Fairy Fencer will be out September 23rd. And they'll all be priced at $40. I think this is awesome. Bring more RPGs. Bring them over.
Yeah, I was going to say, you see a lot of reemergence of the JRPG, especially coming to the West, which is nice, because it was like a hiatus for like 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
It's about time, really.
Bring them all. Bring every one of them.
Yeah, I guess the success of the Final Fantasy X remaster or whatever, Square Enix too. They're thinking about bringing more RPGs over too.
With Bravely Default, that was pretty successful too.
Yep.
Oh yeah, talked about that at PAX.
Yep.
Yeah, then that's another thing with that game. Like Square and everybody else, I've seemed to look at resurgence. So it's a good thing. Don't get me wrong, it is a good thing, but it just makes you scratch your head wondering, did it take this amount of time to get you guys to realize that people love JRPGs? Because this has been a known fact for God knows how long.
Right, yeah.
Well, people were riding the first-person shooter train for a while, you know.
Oh, God, that train got derailed fast.
Not really fast. I mean, like almost 3 generations.
Yeah, true. It's been going on
the hell
for a
out
while.
of it.
I know. When we went to, it was localizing Japanese games to America. It was a panel that we went to at PAX, And one of the translators, I'm sorry, I can hear myself, but it's making me feel weird.
I know, I can hear you from Zack. Zack,
It's an
headphones,
echo.
buddy. Headphones will help.
I have headphones on.
I know, we're sitting right next to each
I'm
other.
going to move to the other room.
Yeah.
Yeah, absence makes the heart grow fonder, Zack. It really does.
All right.
But so they were talking about localizing, and so the translator was like, "Is there anything else you guys want besides RPGs?" And the whole room was just silent. Like, are you kidding me? Of course, that's all we want. Like, that's it.
I should have screamed shmups, but those don't need translating.
Those need 0 words or letters at all.
Very, very true. So going on from that, have you got any more news for us, Zack?
That's all I have.
Okay. Well, here's another one. Speaking of first-person shooters, there have been rumors floating around of an upcoming announcement of Resident Evil 7 at E3. Voiced and alleged that it would be on the Xbox One and it would be an exclusive, but apparently it may be coming to the PS4 too. But it hasn't been announced as of yet. This is coming from DualShockers.com. So, what does everyone think of this? That's a big groan. But
It'll never truly be exclusive. If I've learned anything, like from at least RE4 in particular, if whatever game they release is successful enough, they'll put it everywhere.
That's true.
Very true.
No, that's true.
But in terms of like Resident Evil 7, do you guys want to see another Resident Evil game?
I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like
yeah.
to see one. I'd like to see them take it. I don't know. I feel like Capcom needs to listen to people, and until they decide to do that, I don't think really anything they do is going to be successful. The problem is that they're not listening. They can keep pumping out 100 fucking more, but if they're not putting out what people want, then it's just going to suck ass. I'd like to see them make it something, like Resident Evil 4 or even the old school ones, 1, 2, and 3. I'd like to see something like. I don't know, everything I've heard about 6, which I haven't got to play yet, was just like almost like it was like a Michael Bay film, only it was Resident Evil.
I've played it, and I literally turned it off halfway through because it just got too... It was literally generic. You could watch the cutscenes and still know what's going on in the game.
Well, to me, this question is like the same as, do you want another Resident Evil movie? When the answer is no.
Well, Mila Jovovich walking around naked, probably not. If it was a Resident Evil porno, I think I'd say fine.
That last Resident Evil movie was god awful. I mean, shit. Did anybody think that was good? Oh yeah.
No, that was terrible.
I think they should take a cue from The Last of Us.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Well,
or give a character like a disease that she'll just die from.
No, I mean the way the game moves the story along, you know what I mean? And the gameplay wise, tight controls. It doesn't have to be so ridiculously Japanese.
That's true, and you know what? It's either do that or they might as well just turn it into a Michael Bay movie and have Michael Bay just direct it and then put some turtles in it and have a rat that's basically the father of the main character. Whoops. Spoilers from Turtles. Anyway, yeah, for me, I think they do need to go back to its roots, but we'll see how Capcom goes, because, Capcom, they're just... Yeah, it's like Capcom's slogan should be Capcom, because fuck you guys.
Yeah, exactly. There was a South Park. That was.
I think Square already patented that one.
Oh, yeah. I still like Square.
The South Park, when they were talking about like Adam Sandler movies, they're like, movie like starring Adam Sandler called "Fuck You, you'll pay to see it." Like that's pretty much this.
Give us your money. Give us your money in advance.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right, in other news, the PS4 version of Beyond Two Souls is possibly ousted by the DualShock 4 inputs. The Last of Us Remastered, in any indication, seems fond of the idea of republishing the latest PS3 games on the PS4. Something possibly ousting a PS4 version of Beyond Two Souls has emerged. So, what do you guys think of this? What do you guys think about them republishing PS3 games to PS4 or Xbox 360 games to the Xbox One? Do you guys think that this is just getting a bit too ridiculous now?
I think it's a good idea, actually. I mean, giving people the opportunity who haven't played games like The Last of Us, because it's a PlayStation exclusive, It gives people incentive to buy a PlayStation 4 who previously have been Xbox owners.
Yeah, but why play it on the PS4 when you can just play it on the PS3?
Well, maybe they don't have a PS3. But here's, I knew that this was going to start happening. When Grand Theft Auto 5 came out on the PS3 and 360, I already knew that they weren't going to let something as big as that stay on, pretty much now last generation's shit. Also, like when they released The Last of Us as almost the swan song of the PS3, those are things that are so big. They're not just going to let them die at the very tail end, for that. I already knew this was going to happen, and yeah, I like it. Kyla has Grand Theft Auto 5, and I'd love to be able to play it on the PS4.
Yeah, me too. So why haven't they done it yet?
Because they're assholes.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, didn't they say that they weren't going to publish that on the PS4 itself? Or they?
Did they?
Yeah, they say that. Well, from what I was told, they basically, Rockstar has stated that they're not going to do a PS4 or Xbox One version of the game because they're like, this game was used to sort of be the last of the Grand Theft Auto series on those consoles. We're not going to push it onto other systems because no point.
I honestly think
makes sense.
I think they're going for a massive multiplayer experience for the next one.
Well, they might. But one thing that doesn't make any sense to me about them doing that is Grand Theft Auto isn't like Call of Duty where there's a new one every year. So I can understand even if like Call of Duty Ghost was only on 363 and the next one will come out on PS4, even though they did both. They did it on both sets of systems. But Grand Theft Auto is a game that takes like 6 or 7 years to come out. So are they? I don't know. I mean, they made a shitload of money. They made a killing off of it, but I don't know why they wouldn't bring it over. I know you're saying like they meant for it to be on that, but I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, well, for me, it just doesn't seem like by doing stuff like this, though, do they charge you for the game like the same price as you would pay for a PS3 or PS4 variation of that game?
Yeah, $60.
That's a lot of money, man.
That's what the Tomb Raider remastered was, $60.
That's ridiculous.
Right, but I thought that what people were saying was if you had the disc, you could buy the game for like $10 and use the disc from the PS3 and the PS4 and you play it like that.
See, that I don't mind stuff like that. If I was basically like someone like myself who, if I buy a next-gen console, I'm guaranteed that I'm going to have the previous system anyway. And if they gave me, like, for instance, my Assassin's Creed 4, I have it on the PS3 disc. If I put it in my PS4 system, for $10, I can actually purchase the PS4 version of that game. They'll just have to download an update, and then I can play it.
Right.
One thing, me like everybody else, I love to talk shit about GameStop, but the one thing I will always say of recent time, like back in September, was if you had bought like Ghost, say for example, on Xbox 360, and you were buying an Xbox One, like a couple months down the road, I think you had 3 months where you could bring Xbox 360 Ghost to GameStop, and for $10 they would give you the Xbox One version and like PS3 and with PS4. And I thought that was awesome. I mean, that's pretty fucking cool. Because that way you weren't buying an outdated version if you were already waiting for the new system. You could get it when it came out, and then you could trade in for $10 and get the new one.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly on that one. For me, it's a great idea to do that. And if they do more of that on the next-gen systems, I'm fine with them releasing like these games on there. But paying a whole $60 for it, for me, it doesn't seem like the right move.
You have to be a big fan. I know Kyla bought Tomb Raider on PS3 and she bought it on PS4, but she's just a huge fan and she wanted to play it on both and she wanted to own it on both.
She's a huge man.
She's a huge man.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, she's a big fan.
Nice.
You have to be like, to buy both, you would have to be a really big fan of any series.
Yeah.
Which you will attract some people who are those big fans, but otherwise, yeah.
All right, the difference to me about The Last of Us Remastered and a game like Tomb Raider. See, Tomb Raider is a multi-platform game to begin with, and it should just be ported. Whereas, like, The Last of Us is like a Sony exclusive. So moving it on to the next system, you know what I mean? Like, if you had an Xbox and you didn't bother with PlayStation, you intended to buy a PlayStation 4.
I can be in agreement with you on that one. But as I said, with me, if I'm a multi-console owner, I want to have like an extra incentive. I don't want to go sort of that route. So moving on from that as well, let's go to you, Mr. Travis Goss. Do you have any news for us today?
I do, in fact. Well, looks like Nintendo can't win for nothing because they're getting sued again.
Well, is it for not giving the fans a Pokemon MMO? Please say they are.
I wish I could report on that, but no. It looks like Nintendo is facing a lawsuit over the Wii U and its gamepad.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, the gamepad.
Why?
Secure Access, a Texas-based company that is dedicated to monetization and management of Internet security patents, and a subsidiary of Prism Technologies, LLC, is suing Nintendo of America and Nintendo Company for allegedly violating a patent concerning the use of multiple screen displays for a computer device. According to the patent, the abstract idea behind the technology involves displaying a document on a primary screen and showing an absolute copy of the document on a secondary screen. What? This sounds just like the DS. So what the hell? It's fine taking this long to get to the Wii U.
What?
Anyways, here's what the document reads. A computer providing multiple display capability where one display presents the current document and another display may show a true display of a previously opened document. The computer is a singular process video data signal source which presents a primary monitor with current video data. A user-selected video screen sample of the current processed video data signal is diverted to this invention where it is stored in a memory. Subsequently, the stored video screen sample of the processed video data signal is read out of the memory and reconstituted as an absolute copy of the original processed video data signal and concurrently printed on a secondary monitor. And I've just now lost a few IQ points after reading that.
So in English?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Pretty much it displays two images identically on two different devices.
Yeah, but and that's what I don't understand because there's other devices that do just that. It's not just the Wii U. So I just don't understand what the
3DS.
Well, in DS, 3DS, all the various DS units, and doesn't the same thing apply to like?
This applies to everything.
Yeah,
smartphones.
You know, that's almost as bad as like the Candy Crush guys patenting candy.
No, I don't think it's like an iPhone where there's two pictures. I think it's like having a picture on your television and then being able to have the exact mirrored thing. Well, not mirrored, but the exact image or the exact stream on a secondary device. Laptops, it's almost what it sounds like. It's like Chromecast.
Yeah,
it sounds like Chromecast.
Laptops on HDMI as well, though. I can literally put my screen from my TV onto my laptop onto my TV using a HDMI input. So it's bullshit. It's just too much of a broad spectrum in terms of what they're doing. And it sounds to me that these guys are trying to cash in on something that's been out for over a year. Why haven't they sued about this before?
Because they want to kick a horse when it's down.
Did Nintendo lose the last lawsuit with the 3DS?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, okay.
But the thing is, the guy could prove that he made the technology previously.
Right, yeah.
But this is ridiculous. I'm one of those guys who wants to kick Nintendo while they're down sometimes because they do fucking annoy me. As a company, in regards to this device, this is just stupid. So, anybody else? Any thoughts on this, guys?
It's like we just basically said. I mean, this kind of thing applies to other things besides the Wii U. And you actually bring up a point I was going to make. When I can connect my laptop to my TV, and I can use the laptop as my secondary screen. So that doesn't make any much sense as to why they would want to target Nintendo. I mean, I know that what Zach said, kicking in the horse while they're down, but at the same time...
Kyla said that.
Kyla said that. Okay, sorry. Anyways, but still, there's like no merit behind this. There isn't. There's no way this is going to go through. They're not going to get a successful lawsuit because if they were to sue Nintendo, they probably, and win that, they would tackle all the other companies with their abilities, and they probably would rake in a shitload of cash if this was successful.
It's just silly, though. It really, really is. It's seriously, anybody who tries to go after someone for money, it's getting ridiculous now with this whole stupid culture of suing people. Here's the idea, Peaks. Go out of an original idea, patent it, use the fucking idea to better mankind or to bring a device out that people would want. Don't go around suing people after having a system out for a year that you knew existed. Twats. Anyway.
It's just like that one lawsuit from this one rap artist a couple years back this is like a year ago, who was trying to sue Rockstar over Grand Theft Auto San Andreas because... Yeah. It's stupid.
What reason did he have?
Because apparently he says that they used his image and likeness without his permission, and they talked to him about what it was like growing up in South Central LA, where most of this game takes place in, and what life was like, and they talked to him about it and all this other crap, and he's not making any money at all, so he's just trying to cash in, and it failed big time. Yeah,
and it makes you look like a complete a twad.
Yep.
Seriously. Okay, moving on from that, let's go to Mr. Booch. Booch, you got anything for us?
Nothing in particular news, just a handful of really cool indie games I was excited to see while I was at PAX that I had pretty much zero clue about.
Awesome. We can get to that on the PAX talk.
Got it.
Craig, what about you?
All right, I found this weird-ass article, and of course this comes out of Florida. A 24-year-old man confessed to killing his crying infant so he can keep playing Xbox games. He smothered this kid so he could play probably like Titanfall or some stupid shit.
Why didn't someone abort this dude? Seriously.
I don't know.
If I was his father, I would have come to his house with a shotgun and shot him. Alright, son, it's still not too late.
Oh, man. It's just, this just gives ammunition to the people that, decry video games.
Well, it's not the video game's fault this guy's a dick.
Oh, no. Hell no. Of course not. It's like bad parenting or whatever the fuck happened. It's just...
Who left this guy alone with a child?
I don't know.
Who let him procreate? Seriously.
It makes me wonder what game this guy was playing.
I think that's the last of the concerns, but...
I hope they fry that piece of shit, seriously.
Yeah, he needs to hang, man. I mean, come on. I mean, that's a really shitty story right there.
Yeah.
I agree, totally agree on that one. It's ridiculous. I think Alpha Omega Sin actually brought this up as well. Shout out to Alpha Omega Sin and his YouTube channel. It's one of those things where this is going to happen a lot. It's not a game issue. It's not a game issue. It's a procreation issue. People mate with the most stupid kind of people on the planet, or they give birth to the most stupid kind of people on the planet. These people then in turn do stupid things. Like, this guy should not be mentally fit to even have a child. Yet the state sees him fit to have one, and he smothered his 1-year-old child who he conceived with some woman who wanted to have sex with him, and basically then ended up killing the kid. These stories are, the variation of these stories come out yearly.
Yeah.
And they're probably even worse than those, and we see them happen a lot. In say countries like India, for instance, you hear horror stories of parents drowning their daughters because they wanted a son.
Well, this is horrible. I mean, he placed the child in a playpen, but put multiple layers of bedding over his body and head so he couldn't breathe. And then he didn't return for 5 hours. He left this kid unchecked for 5 hours. Some people, they should have you fill out a form to get a license to have children.
You know what? I agree with you. I think people should have checks before they even... I'm planning to have sex with my girlfriend, and we're looking at having a kid. Okay, come on to social services, and we'll make you fill out a form.
Yeah.
Is your
somebody
husband a retard?
watch you for a week?
Is your husband a retard? Yes. Sorry. Try and find a better mate.
Yeah.
It just it boggles the mind. Anyway, going on from that, guys, let's see if there's a few more bits of news before we go into our PAX talk, of course. Let's see. Oh yes, Mick Foley won't be in WWE 2K15 for those wrestling fans out there. His current WWE contract is going to be expiring very, very soon, and he has no plans to renew it. So apparently his likeness may not be on the game at any point in time soon. So cheers to you, Mick. I understand he had a few issues with WWE at part in time. Apparently, this weekend, it's going to be ending this Sunday, guys and gals. There's a 99-cent store going on, the PlayStation Store.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So that's some positive news there. For those people who basically are kind of retarded and have and are looking to smother their children, do not buy these games. For those of you who are able-minded and just want to play games to have fun, there are a huge selection of 99-cent games going on in there. I'll bring up the list if I can bring it up there. So what does everyone think of that? 99-cent games from Sony. Do you think Sony's way of giving back?
Woo! Yeah.
Well, what are the games? I mean, if the games are fucking...
They're like PS2 titles, I think.
It's a handful of Crash titles. The biggest thing I saw was Retro Rampage, which is a great title.
Yeah.
Oh, that game was awesome.
So for $1, I would highly recommend that one.
There's a lot of cool games on that list, actually. I looked at
Back
this
to the
morning.
Future, the full series.
What? Every single one?
That's the whole Telltale series, yeah. Every game from that. By that, you've got...
Keep in mind, the story of that game rules. The gameplay of that game is shit.
It is a bit taxing. You got Blast Factor there as well. You got Braid, Crash Bandicoot, Crash Bandicoot 2, Crash Bandicoot 3, Warped. So if you're Chris Dace, I think you should be going and buying these. Crash Commando, CTR Crash Team Racing, Eco Chrome 2. I have no idea what that game's about. An Everyday Shooter for the PS3, Everyday Shooter PSP, PS Vita versions. Gex, Enter the Gecko, Gotham City Imposters. So that game is full quality for anybody who wants to buy that. Jurassic Park the game, the full season. I have no idea what this game's about. Plants vs. Zombies. Red Faction, PS2 Classic. Red Faction 2, the PS2 Classic. Red Faction Battlegrounds, Retro City Rampage for the PS Vita and also the PS3. Retrograde, Sam & Max, The Devil's Playhouse. Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage. Spyro Dragon. Spyro Year of the Dragon. Stuntman Ignition, PS2 Classic, Super Stardust HD, Tales of Monkey Island, Tokyo Jungle, Urban Trial Freestyle PSV, PS Vita, and also the PS3 versions of When Vikings Attack, and also the Vita version there, and World Gone Sour, sorry.
I'll tell you what, if you never played Monkey's Island, this is like the perfect opportunity to do it.
Literally, you could buy all these games for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
Like $20.
20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I would say for about $40, you could buy the entire selection there of the 99-cent
Price of one game.
Price of one mainstream title, you could buy a huge selection of games that could keep you guys busy for at least 6 months.
I definitely am going to purchase Back to the Future because I played the first episode and I actually did like it. It was a little convoluted at first, but I did like it. Definitely will get that. And it was one that you just said, Craig. What the fuck was the name of it?
Super Monkey Island?
Yeah, Monkey Island. Definitely am going to buy that.
Yeah, so there you go, guys. Most of these games, anyway, for $1. I think it's well worth it for all our fans out there who want to actually have a cheap night in. Buy them and go nuts. As far as I'm concerned, it's a really, really good deal going on there. The only thing is they are downloadable.
Yeah.
So that's the only issue with it, as it means you're probably going to need a PSN Plus account to actually play these games.
No, you don't.
Oh, you don't. So you basically be able to play them off the PS.
You play them right off your hard drive.
Oh, there you go. I stand corrected. So there you go, folks. Go nuts, have a good time, and enjoy.
You just have to have enough space on your PlayStation 3 to hold all those games.
Very, very true. So now moving on from that, guys, we are now going to go on a very special break for a little bit. This is what we usually call our IGG piss breaks. So I think the group is going to go for a little bicky-dicky, and we will see you back just after this, of course, if I can actually get the sound file up, because the thing's being a bit weird. Yeah, we'll see you and we're talking PAX right after this.
Man, every young hot shot in the outer rim comes gunning for me sooner or later.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah, I keep doing that. I know, I'm an arsehole. See you in a bit, guys. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we've had a nice little set of expos coming up in the next couple of months. We've got PAX East this month, and we've got another expo coming up here in the UK called Play Blackpool, which is going to be happening as well, which is our Play Expo. So we've got loads of different expos coming up, and luckily for us, we've actually got 3 resident people who've actually been to the lovely, lovely expo of PAX East. And we're going to have a few takes on this. So we'll start with you, Zach. Tell us a little bit about the PAX East Expo. What was it like? What were you doing?
Well, I was just walking around trying to see all the scenes, check out everything, go to whatever panels that I liked. I was checking out some vendors and stuff. I was just like, I had never been to PAX. This was my first time ever being there. And as a retro guy who doesn't really play computer games and doesn't really do new things, everyone's probably like, well, why the fuck did you even go? And that's a good point. Well, one of the reasons I went is because all my buddies go, and that's kind of like the thing. And it's not like if they jumped off a bridge would I do it, but it's like, they all get together and have a fucking awesome time. So I was like, this year I'm going, and I went and I had an awesome time. I had a fantastic time walking around, playing the games, listening to people at the panels, checking out the vendors, grabbing your swag bags, seeing people's cosplays, just everything. It's an awesome environment. It's a huge thing, and I'm so happy that it exists.
I just want to say that I nearly shat myself when I saw you with Earthworm Jim.
Oh, Earthworm Jim, yeah.
Okay, when we got the picture with Earthworm Jim, it was me, Kyla. Kyla, was Tim in that picture too?
Yeah, Tim.
It was me, Kyla, and Tim, and we saw Earthworm Jim walking, and his costume, first of all, was amazing. It was one of the best there. And when we got pictures with him, Kyla handed her phone to someone so they could take the picture, and like 15 other people with their own phones and cameras were taking pictures of us with Earthworm Jim. That's how awesome it was.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about the games that they had on in terms of PAX, like all the little sort of gaming booths and everything they had going on. Who was there? Was there any mainstream companies that you saw?
Machinima was there.
Well, there was huge companies. Yeah, I mean, Square Enix had a booth there.
It was very small.
Blizzard had a booth there. Valve had something there. Riot had a huge-ass booth with League of Legends. Borderlands had a huge booth for the new, they call it the pre-sequel game.
Wolfenstein was there.
Yep,
the new
Wolfenstein had a big one. Well, the thing that I liked the most, I loved the indie part. I loved that part.
Yeah, the indie game showcase was awesome.
It was so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best thing for those type of conferences is like showing off indie games that like people don't usually see in the mainstream media and stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was great.
Like we played Guacamelee, which I mean already came out before, but Guacamelee was there, and that's an indie game, which was amazing.
Guacamelee was funny. It was fun. Everybody like.
Kyla, sorry, you've got the. I can hear myself.
Well, we're not in the same room, so we both have headphones on.
Yeah, I don't know what's up.
Check your headphone port, Carla.
Better? Worse? Better?
Better.
Oh, try turning your volume down a little.
Wait. All right. Can you get
Sorry,
still there?
It's a casualty of being on a live show. We have these hiccups every now and then.
Yeah.
There we go.
Is that better or worse?
You're better. I can still hear a little bit. No, that's fine. All right. So as you were saying, so you guys attend these booths. You have these great. You had some good companies, some great companies. You had the independent companies there. Was there anything that stood out for you?
My favorite.
I have a small list, if you will, from the indies, because that's basically where I hung out. I love all the small developers. They're always trying something kind of new. And there was two really cool roguelikes that I saw there, basically like dungeon crawlers. One of which was called Delver's Drop by, I believe it's Pixelscopic. It's basically a completely randomly generated like roguelike. Very cool flash animated art style. Has different like classes you can play as, obviously. Really cool like 2D kind of like animated based thing. And the other one that was also another roguelike and dungeon crawler, Crypt of the Necrodancer. This was the coolest thing ever, because it was a roguelike that you could play with a DDR pad, and it was a rhythm-based game that you traveled through to the rhythm of the beat of the music that was playing. It was hands down the weirdest, most fun I've ever played with a game. It was great. I can't wait to see this game come out.
What's a roguelike? What do you mean?
Basically, think like a Diablo-type game.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like dungeon crawler, hack and slash, some kind of gauntlet-type adventure.
Okay.
Yo, Booch, tell them about that Sun game.
After Sunlight?
Yeah, that one, yeah.
All right, this was a piece of crap that some terrible... Oh, God. This game was... Okay, the guy was trying to, I believe, be kind of like edgy and experimental. I believe it was called After Sunlight. And basically, it was an autobiography from this fat, balding gaming developer where the first line of the game is, "Why kill yourself today when you can masturbate tomorrow?" The rest of the game is like nothing but self-doubt and like really like self-deprecating, depressing like narrative. And I basically played it for like 10 minutes, and it was nothing but just narrative that made me want to kill myself. I'm like, I don't know if I can handle this.
So you're like, it doesn't make me want to masturbate.
No, nothing like that.
So basically, it's one of those games where if you wanted assisted suicide, just show that to the person.
Yeah, it'll probably push him over the top.
That'll put him over the edge, yeah.
It'd make you smother the next person next to you. So, what other sort of indie games sort of stood out for you, Booch? Where anything else that you saw then thought, you know what, that's going to be a cool concept when it comes out?
One thing that I saw that I'm really excited about, mainly because I was hugely into Team Fortress 2 when it first came out, is a game called Secret Ponchos. It's produced by Switchblade Monkeys. The reason I compare it to TF2 is because it has like a sort of character-based deathmatch system. But it plays from like this isometric perspective and is going to be released on the PS4 and on Steam. So it's kind of got this like third person, like almost top down perspective. Has a really cool, almost cel shaded type graphics to it, but it has the same kind of like tongue in cheek cartooniness that TF2 had, and it's set in this spaghetti western era where obviously it's called Secret Ponchos. You got like these banditos and these like great musketeer men and these matadors from Mexico, and they're all like fighting it out in these old-timey western bars and like streets. And it was really cool, just a simple concept. Just they only had deathmatch as a mode available at the time being, but I really liked it because each character kind of had their own different weapons, their abilities, perks to playing as them. And I thought it was really cool because since TF2 recently, being the hat simulator that it is, has become so convoluted, something like this would be really refreshing to go back to bare bones and you're just these characters and they're very distinct and individual. And it seemed like it had a lot of promise to it.
Nice.
Max, Max Gentleman? Did we forget about that one? The hack game?
Yeah. Okay, Max Gentleman. Kylie, can I take this one?
Oh, yeah. Take it away.
Max Gentleman, I played like 5 times. So you could play single player or you could play 2-player. So either way, it was either you versus someone else or you by yourself. So picture an x-axis, and you can just move along an x-axis. And the x-axis is the bar. And you're in a bar, and behind you is a bunch of people fighting. So there's shit flying all over the screen, like horizontally above the x-axis. So you have a character you can pick from like 8 people. And every time a bartender puts down a beer and you drink it, a hat gets put on top of your head. So now once you start getting hats, the screen starts zooming out and shit starts flying at you. So one button, the joystick moves you left and right, and the button jumps, it throws your hat in the air. So if you have 10 hats, they'll like all be black. 9 of them will be black, but the 10th one will be either green or blue or pink. Blue or pink, depending if you're first player or second player, and the one that's colored denotes which one will jump. So if you're in the middle, say you're on hat 5, it'll jump hat 5 through 10 into the air to jump over the obstacles like beer bottles and shit that are getting thrown at you. And the coolest thing about this is they put it into an actual arcade machine, and you can compete against other people, and it's really funny because you're not only moving side to side to try to get the beers and try to speed past your opponent to grab them, you're also looking at your hats and where they are, and also you're looking at the stuff that's flying on the screen, and you're trying to jump over because every time you hit something that's flying on the screen, you lose a hat. So you have to keep trying to jump the obstructions on the screen while drinking the beers to get your hat stack higher and higher and higher and higher, and whoever has the highest stack wins.
That sounds actually pretty awesome.
Oh, it was amazing.
A lot of fun.
It was so good.
So speaking of the game companies that you saw sort of like the independent side, what about the big companies like, for instance, like Nintendo or Sega or Sony? Did they have anything like new announced?
Nintendo didn't have anything there, I don't think. Sega didn't have anything.
They weren't even there, I don't think.
Sony did have a smaller thing. Kyla, what did they have? You went over there.
Yeah, I did. I was at the Sony booth. It was really small. It was tucked away behind the behemoth area. And they really didn't have anything. They had like a little thing set up, and I think, what is that new shooter game that they're coming out with? Yes, no, I don't know. That
Destiny?
Sony? No.
No, that's, I don't know.
I think it was like a first-person shooter game. I don't know what it is, because I don't care, but that's the only thing that they had there, and they had like some developers there that were just like hanging at the booth, like talking to people. But it was surprising. It was a little uninteresting. I kind of just like moved along.
They were really just kind of selling merchandise, really.
Well, no, they actually had people there. They had people there who actually worked on games, and like I was there one time while they were talking about it, but I kind of found it a little boring.
So I see they didn't really have like much going on in terms of the big companies then. So what's the golden like part of the expo itself?
It wasn't like there wasn't big companies. There wasn't big like console companies. There was huge fucking computer and that kind of stuff companies.
Well,
I feel like the biggest booth areas, there was a big Twitch area, a big machinima area, both of which obviously playing. Well, they were all playing like all kinds of different kinds of games. They weren't really promoting anything particular.
Right.
But I'd say like the 3 biggest like brand companies that were promoting something would be Riot in League of Legends, Blizzard with both WoW, Hearthstone, and then with Hearthstone, which just got put on iPad recently, and Heroes of the Storm, their LoL competitor. And then right across from Blizzard was the Evolve booth. I forget what company's producing that, but they had a huge setup for that game, and that looked really cool.
Yeah, that's the guys who made Left 4 Dead, I think. So whoever they're with.
Valve.
Yeah, Valve. Yeah, I think,
it's Valve. Yeah.
Well,
and then right next to
Turtle Rock Studios and 2K games.
2K. And then right next to the Evolve booth was the Borderlands one,
which was also humongous.
So, what about? I'm trying to think of the way to say it. Let's talk a little bit about the cosplayers then. What competitions do they have going on there for like cosplay? Because I know Booch, you went as a Mario with his dick in a box. So what inspired that with you first? Let's talk about that a little bit.
The inspiration for that was, well, for one, I look awfully similar to the guy. So
do you? I never knew.
And like Ron Jeremy.
Yeah. Oh, well, there's that. A
So
lot of people do call him Mario.
Well, you could be Ron Mario. You know.
Ron Mario.
Combine the two, you could have like Booch in a porno film, Princess Peach.
Yo, this is a true story. Booch was working with this guy that we went to high school with when he worked at Home Depot. And one day I was in the bar, and the guy came over to say hi, and I was drinking with him. I was like, you work with my roommate. And he was like, who's your roommate? I was like, Jeff Boucher. He went to school with us. He's like, I don't know that guy. I was like, he has a mustache. He has like curly hair. He's like, Mario? You talking about Mario? I was like, okay, yeah, that's probably him. So like these people knew him as Mario.
Yep.
Oh,
this is very true. But the inspiration to take it the step further, to then place my junk inside a block, mainly came from Starbomb, or Ninja Sex Party and Game Grumps, their collaboration band. They had a song called Luigi's Ballad, where Luigi is trying to swoon Peach over and Mario's just being a vulgar dick. And the first line of the song is, "What up, bitch? I got a one-up, bitch. What's inside this question block? It's my dick." And
as we know, Ego Raptor's very clever with his lyrics.
Absolutely.
I love that song so much.
Me too. It's so
Starbomb,
good.
yeah.
No, it's a great band, and that lyric kind of like, it brought me back to like, oh yeah, dick in a box, like, oh, I look like Mario, it would be really easy to just get a question block sewed on, and it kind of like went from there, and that's where the costume came about.
As I can see, there's a nice little photo of you with your uniform and the block just like sewn onto the making it simulate that you've got your dick in a block. And the hilarious one I just see is you eating fries very seductively.
I love that.
While laying the plate on your block.
Walking up to that, like, we had gone and gotten food, and, like, we were trying to find a place to sit, and me and Zach are walking back, and we just look, and all I see is Bootsy with this plate on the box, and it was just the best sight ever.
Yeah, it was good.
He just looks really seductive, and plus he's got, like, women and men manhandling that block.
Yep. Those are all of our friends, Tim and Summers, Sir Many Hairs.
And you got a hot link handling your junk, so that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, that was a bonus surprise to the end of the one of the nights.
Boner?
A boner's surprise.
A bonus surprise. All I have to say to that is this.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yes, so that link is kind of bonerific. So, were there any like competitions going on? Was there costume like contests and stuff for cosplayers?
I think they did have one for LOL cosplay very specifically. Because that was the most cosplay. Sure. I think we saw like 6 or 10. Like there had to be like 10 plus dances walking around. It was ridiculous.
League of Legends definitely has like the most amount of cosplayers. They did have a competition for it again. I wasn't aware of any other cosplay competitions that they had going on. If I knew about it, I probably would have brought my block on down.
So no cock blocking then?
No, my cock was definitely blocked.
Oh god!
Oh,
you know,
damn
as according to like the Super Mario Brothers NES book, you apparently put your dick in one of the village people.
Yes,
Wait,
yes,
what?
he did.
So basically, a converted toad. Because all the people of the Mushroom Kingdom, the story goes, and Matt Pat actually stated to this. The story goes that the people of the Mushroom Kingdom were converted to those blocks. So anytime Mario like destroyed a block to get a coin, he was literally killing a mushroom person.
He was committing genocide all through every mushroom.
So pretty much that. So basically, you were fucking a mushroom person.
Yeah.
Hey. Maybe.
It's all speculation.
And you don't know if it was a male or a female.
The story I liked to tell people while I was at PAX was that I got into a tussle with a Magi Koopa, and he shot his little magic wand at me, and I almost dodged out of the way except for one part of my anatomy.
So you basically magically turned your dick into a block.
Yep, that's the story I went with.
You know what you should just said? Hey, baby, why don't you come on here and get my one up?
Yeah.
So, oh god, there could be a number of sexual references that we could use in terms of that block. So, segueing on from that then, because I do want to talk about your dick a little bit more, Booch, but I think we have other things to talk about.
Oh, sure.
Because it is a gaming show. We could rename it "I Got in a Box," but that probably wouldn't help.
Getting your dick in a box.
Getting your dick in a box. There you go. That's even the title.
Modest dick in a box.
Get your dick caught in the door.
What?
Well, you could call it Super Smash Bros. So basically, I'm losing my train of thought as we speak. So basically, were there any like big announcements coming from PAX East that you guys heard and you were like, oh my god?
Major announcements. I went to the Magic the Gathering panel. Nothing too crazy. They previewed some cards. Said they were coming out with another Planeswalkers video game. Nothing crazy on that front.
There was a load of tournaments going on as well, wasn't there?
Yes. Me and one of my friends, we went to play in a Commander tournament, the 100-card Magic decks. And we both got eliminated in the first round by people playing combo decks. So that was a lot of fun and interactive.
Wait, actually, I'm sorry. We forgot to talk about a game, Kyla's favorite game at PAX.
Oh, what? Goat Simulator?
Goat Simulator. That was there.
That's been getting a lot of freaking news.
Dude, have you guys ever played this game?
Isn't it broken? Like,
it's broken in a good way, though.
Yeah, if by broken you mean fucking amazing, yes.
It's like as if you were playing Tony Hawk and there was no rules.
With a goat, of course.
With
a goat.
Yeah. I just made her goat demonic. Okay, there's a part where you can drag people to a pentagram, and Kyla did it, and her goat became like Satan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It was so good.
What is the method behind this game? What are you supposed to do?
Just like live life as a goat.
You're just a goat. You're just a goat.
It's kind of like an open sandbox game where there's literally no goal to it other than being goat.
Yeah.
And you don't die. No matter what you do, you don't
amazing.
die.
So basically, you're a goat as in the greatest of all time.
Yes,
you're a goat and you're fucking shit up, and it's hilarious. You can't play the game without laughing, which is amazing.
Oh, it's amazing, yeah.
But does the goat, shit on the floor and stuff like that?
No. You can, use your tongue and, attach to a car, and the car just drags you. I mean...
But it doesn't poop, though, does it, Kyla?
I think you fart constantly.
Do you?
I think there's little air poofs coming out of your pooper.
It sounds just like, was it The Amazing Frog?
Oh, God, that game is so terribly amazing. Yeah, I would agree. That's very similar kind of game, yeah. The object of the game is to just kill yourself and laugh.
Okay.
This game just sounds really, really ridiculous, but yet so much fun. I need to download this on Steam.
No, you really should.
Kyla had a jetpack. It was like 2 propane tanks.
I think, they look like those giant, oxygen tanks that you see that are I don't know, they're 2 yards, 1 yard, I don't know. They're huge. They're giant. You just walk into it, and then you're, eternally bound to it. You can't do anything but be with the jetpack. You don't have to use it, but you can, and it's fun. I don't know.
Okay, so let's say a little bit more about that then. So, the Goat Simulator was the standout game for you guys. Would that be sort of correct to say?
Well, that is for Kyla, I think. For me, it was Max Gentleman. That was my favorite game. The hat game.
The hat game. Okay. So I'm going to round up a few games here and talk about this and see if you guys have actually played them. Galax Z. It's a 17-bit game for the PS4, PS Vita, and it was located on a booth. Did you guys give this game a try?
I saw it, but I think every time I went to that one, there was a line. One of the other games I did play, though, in case you're going to ask, is Organic Panic. I did play that one. Anyway, I didn't play Galaxy, but I did.
Why don't you let him ask?
Okay, I'm sorry. If you're going to ask, No, okay, sorry, I did not play that game.
Okay. What about Y2K?
Nope.
Watch Dogs?
Oh God, no.
No.
I like the old God no. Why are you giving us no God no, Kyla?
I don't know. I don't know. I just avoided it.
Does the game not look that great for you?
I don't know. It was my first time there. I was like overwhelmed and it was hard for me. It was really hard for me to even like want to play games while I was there because I'm just like, oh my God, there's like 50 games being played and that can be played within like immediate access, like arm's length, and I just don't even know what to do.
I would have just played the games. I'm just saying.
That's what everyone did.
I can just see everybody playing games and Kyla just spazzing out in the middle of the floor because
it's kind of a game convention, Kyla. It's kind of like what you're there for is games.
Dear Jeff, go fuck yourself. Love Kyla.
Aww.
I called you Jeff. That's so weird.
Yeah. Freak.
Sounds like a love letter.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't. That really doesn't sound like a love letter, Travis. It sounds like she just told him to go fuck himself with his block. So
I take it as a term of endearment, but that's just me.
I kind of wouldn't. But anyway, The Crew. What about that game? Has any of you guys tried that one?
Crew, no.
Trials Fusion.
Did any of us even go to PAX?
Did you guys play anything?
Okay, there's The Child of the Light.
Oh, you know what? I did see that, and I really wanted to play it, but I didn't get a chance. It looked amazing, though. I did watch someone else play it. It looked really cool.
Which one was that one?
That was at the Square Enix booth, wasn't it?
Oh, okay. I didn't get to that booth.
Basically, it's a downloadable turn-based game made by Ubisoft Montreal. It's a reimagining of the classic fairy tale, taking players with solving mysteries and taking part in an old-school JRPG combat. So you play as Aurora, a child who's stolen from her home, and their quest is to bring back the sun, moon, and the stars. This is like a very nice indie-based JRPG.
Yeah, sounds good.
It looked amazing.
Yeah, the graphics on this looks quite sort of like very childlike, very cartoonish. So we got Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft for iPad. So I don't know what this is. It looks like a World of Warcraft type game.
Hearthstone, that's actually a game I have myself. It's a free-to-play card game that Blizzard has produced. It's based around like all of their WoW type classes and heroes and such. But yeah, it's a free-to-play card game where you can unlock cards for free, or you can spend money to buy booster packs to up your collection faster. And it plays a lot similarly to like Magic and those other kinds of card games. If anyone wants just some random free card game to try out, I highly recommend it. I mean, costs you $0 to start off. If you really do like it, you can throw them a couple bucks to get some more stuff faster. You can unlock everything for free. That'll take you an eternity, trust me. But, yeah, it's a very simple, like, 1v1 card-based kind of game. Lots of fun.
And they've also released the new World of Warcraft expansion, Warlords of Draenor. And basically there's a level cap on it, apparently. So every player's account automatically boosted to level 90 to balance new challenges and player abilities. Players may also use existing characters from the boost or a build of a new one. The equipment is also be appropriately upgraded. So did you find out a bit more about this, Booch, or did you give a crap about this one?
World of Warcraft itself, I've been out of the loop for probably 3+ years now, so yeah, this one I just let slide by me.
Sort of a sleeper thing. Diablo 3, the Ultimate Evil Edition. That's the PS4 version of Diablo 3, so it's pretty much the same thing as the PS3 version, but it's probably got loads of other little things. Framed, Love Shack. It's an indie showcase booth. Did you check out Framed?
No.
It won't tell me anything about it. It's an iOS game. Wayward Souls. Okay, this one I know you guys probably checked out. Murdered Soul Suspect.
No, is that that's the Square game, isn't it?
Yep.
I wanted to check that out. I did, until we were even there the second day, I didn't even know Square even had a fucking booth. It's actually kind of hard to find shit. At least I felt it was, unless you're looking at the actual map.
It's
But
not even that it's like hard to find things. It's just like the mass of people that is there. Like unless you get there, like when it opens, like an hour before it opens, you're going to be waiting in line forever to play these games. Booch, what game did you stand in line for like 2 hours to play?
It was the next game from what was it, Supergiant Games?
Yeah.
The developers that did Bastion. Their next game that's coming out, Transistor. It's got the same exact art style. It's got like a narrator and everything. Like they're really keeping into the same kind of vein. And we got in line for that and stayed there for probably like an hour and a half just to play like their 5-minute demo. It's kind of nuts down there. Like if you really want to test out like some of the bigger stuff, like there were like I really wanted to play Heroes of the Storm, but that easily would have been a 2+ hour wait. Like because that's not even like a 5-minute demo. That's like you're playing a 20 to 30-minute game with other people. So,
how many people will attend these things, Pax East?
Oh God!
I don't know what their capacity is truly at, but I would guesstimate somewhere shy of like 9,000-10,000, somewhere in there on a given day.
I would say like maybe a little bit more than that. I'm thinking closer to like 12 or 13. There were so many people there.
The
like,
floor gets really dense, but
it's so hard to walk.
And even if you're going to a lot of the panels and such, the lines build up so fast for those even. I lined up for, a Friend Zone panel for Polaris, because JonTron was going to be at that panel. I was like, I want to freaking see some JonTron. It's going to be, you saw him just walking around and you harassed him and you're like, hi JonTron, you want to take a picture? And he was like, well, fine, whatever. Yeah. And
she's like, I got a mouth, can you give me a picture?
Awesome. Wait.
Joke, every time they lost me, they're like, oh, she's probably blowing JonTron. And I was like, fuck you guys. Get out of here.
But anyways, like that I lined up for like an hour and a half early, and I wasn't even like me and Summers weren't even the first people there. We were still like 100th in line.
Okay, let me ask a question, Carla. So what's the whole JonTron thing? What happened there?
Oh,
and did you blow him?
No, I didn't. I wouldn't either. I was actually looking specifically for Goat Simulator, and I gave up, and I started walking around, and this was in between the Blizzard and Evolve booth, and I turned a corner, and I just, like, look, and I recognize him, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I was just like, this is what I hear from our friend Meg. I was like, I don't even remember what happened. She's like, well, you pretty much saw him, went like, oh my God, you're so funny, take a picture with me, and then that was it. That was the entire
thing. Did he whisper in your ear, come behind here and I'll give you more than a picture?
No, he was pretty much like, well, this will have to be the last one. There's too many people, I gotta go. I'm like, all right, cool.
That's nice of him. There's too many people, I gotta go. Hi, JonTron.
There's a shit ton of people there. And like someone, like this happened like the next day. We're with our friend Mikey, and he was like, who is that guy? Not talking about JonTron, but someone else. And we're all looking at him. We're like, I have no idea who the fuck that is. He's like, well, people are taking pictures of him. He's got to be someone. I was like, well, I don't know who he is, so I don't care. Like, I feel like that might, like, things in those situations can escalate. They see someone taking pictures of people. They're going to be like, that's a person of interest. And then they're going to, try and move in on it because that's just how people are, I guess.
Did you show JonTron your boobs at least?
Oh my God, no.
Honestly, Zack
would
have showed him his boobs.
Yes, he would have, because he's a whore.
Well, Kyla and I weren't even together. Kyla went off on her own with Meg. And when she ran into him, but I mean, whatever. She got to see him. He didn't look very happy in the picture.
Shut up! You're just jealous.
It wasn't even a real picture, no, but I mean, he'd probably been getting harassed all day. I don't know, but I just feel like when you look at someone like JonTron, I mean, like he probably was like harassed all day for pictures, but I feel like if it had been Danny Sexbang, he would have not given a fuck and still been like, yeah, fucking, here's my dick, here's fucking everything. I just feel like there's a totally different vibe between JonTron and Danny Sexbang. I feel like I think JonTron got really popular like early on in life, and I think for Danny Sexbang it took him a lot longer because it like actually did. And I think for now he just doesn't give a shit. He just loves everyone. He'll fucking take pictures, fucking whatever.
Ninja Sex Party's been popular since like 2009 too. So
but popular as not like million subscribers popular. I mean, like
close.
They're not anywhere near close to 1 million subscribers.
Yeah, I think they only crested 200,000 subscribers a couple of months ago, and that's like I want to say he was below like 50,000 for Game Grumps.
Right. So I'm saying
and then after that they had a huge spike.
But yeah, they were nowhere near JonTron status. And to be fair, if he wasn't ever on Game Grumps, they probably it would have taken them a lot longer to. But they were nowhere near like million subscriber shit, and they still aren't. But I mean, they'll get there. They'll get there over time. And plus, Danny Sexbang's a lot older. What's up?
Danny Sexbang you're talking about?
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm not too familiar with Ninja Sex Party. I've heard some of their music. I've heard a lot of Starbomb, because my brother Tom goes like, hey, there's a group called Starbomb. It's got Ego Raptor in it. It's like, hey, the guy who draws stuff. And he shouts at stuff in Game Grumps. Yay! He's like, no, listen to the album. So I listened to the album. I was like, this is actually kind of cool. So tell us a little, like, for people like me who are basically ignorant fucks, tell us a little bit about who Ninja Sex Party are.
All right. Well, Ninja Sex Party is Danny Sexbang and Ninja Brian. They're no, he's not. He'll murder you. You're already dead and you don't know it because he's a ninja.
That's from a song, by the way.
Basically, the duo.
Because women are dead and they don't know it when they sleep next to me because I fart. Anyway, yeah, go on.
Yeah, the duo originally met, if I'm not mistaken, in the Upright Citizens Brigade in New York. They were being trained in improv comedy, and they basically got together one day because Danny Sexbang was like, hey, like asked some friend, like, hey, do you know someone who would like be willing to pretend to be a ninja and like do stupid music videos with me? And someone was like, yeah, I know the perfect person. So then they became like best friends and started their band from there, which is basically an hour worth of dick jokes hidden behind really cool melodies.
Hey, I love dick jokes. You know what? I'm the champion of
obviously.
Dick jokes. Exactly. I can talk about dick jokes all week and never get tired of them. The only time I never talk about dick jokes is around my kids. So I understand.
Good.
Well, I try not to.
Try.
I'm like, sweetie, it's like, Dad, I'm so angry. You know what else is angry? These. Oh wait, kid. Yeah, okay.
Oh wait, you're 10.
Yeah. I should walk away now. And then you just mutter it in under your breath. These nuts. What, Dad? Nothing. But I do it all the time, man. It's like, so how did they sort of get joined up with Game Grumps?
I believe, randomly, Danny was moving to California, and this was probably a couple of months right before JonTron left last summer, and they had all got at one because what was it? Ego Raptor did an animation for one of Ninja Sex Party's videos previously, Dinosaur Laser Fight.
I love that song.
Yeah.
And so they kind of knew each other from at least that. I don't know exactly how they got together for that collaboration.
I think Newgrounds. I think they met in the Newgrounds.
No, I think Ross. I think he said that Ross found them randomly on the internet and like loved it, so he showed it to Ego Raptor.
Yep.
And Ego Raptor contacted him. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. You nailed it. And so then they got together. Ego Raptor did the animation for them. Danny ended up going out to California. They got together because they had done stuff together. Started doing like some comedy stuff. They wanted to work on things. Like they probably were talking about Starbomb like even way back then. And then it kind of just sort of happened where JonTron wanted out. He didn't feel like doing Game Grumps anymore. So be it. And
but that's because he moved, didn't he? He like met a girl and then moved.
Yeah, he moved to New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah. And after that, it's kind of like, well, there's a void to fill, and Danny's adversed in improv comedy. He's a funny guy. He's much older than Egoraptor, so he's got plenty of life stories to tell. I can vouch from the amount of Game Grumps I've watched. Just listening to him tell stories is beautiful.
Go on.
Go on.
Yeah. One story in particular.
So what I'm saying is, who's gonna? It sounds like Kyler's not the person who's gonna be sucking dick here. It sounds like you know, if you saw him, be like dropping your fucking pajama pants. But yeah, so
go on.
That's the best one.
Yeah, they're referencing one story in particular where he talks about he has a lesbian friend couple, and they were going to invite him into a three-way orgy, and his mental response was clearly, go on.
Actually, I remember this so clearly because in that story, and he said that, of course, the whole go on thing was just a joke, but it's like, on the outside, he was like, okay, do tell, but on the inside, he was like, ah!
Just screaming like a little schoolgirl of excitement.
So good.
Yeah, then afterwards he finds out that they were actually guys.
Oh,
I just feel like from hearing their hearing them and like looking at their personas and shit. I just feel like JonTron just seems like a guy who would kind of be like, well, fuck, you're the 100th person to come up and ask me for a picture. Like, all right, I'm out after this. But I feel like if it was like Danny Sexbank, he'd be like, hey, fuck, you're the 100th person to come ask me for a picture. I hope there's 100 more. That just feels that's the vibe I get from him. So he's like 33 or 34 years old.
He'd be like, yeah, it's 100th person. I'm going to take off my shirt for this one.
Yeah, so I don't know how old JonTron is, but yeah.
He's like 22
or
23.
25.
He's probably 24 or 25, but Danny Sexbang is like 33 or 34, so he's older. So I think
that's not old.
Since it took him time to get famous and that kind of stuff, or at least internet famous, I feel like he's much more willing to do all this kind of shit, sign stuff, take pictures, touch boobs, whatever people want. I feel like he's much more wanting to do it.
I understand that. I get like the age gap and how like Danny's been at like his artistic thing much longer, so he's probably much more appreciative of the fans that he has. And like JonTron kind of just like exploded out of nothingness almost. Like he kind of like built his own fame. Like I mean, he got more famous from Game Grumps, probably like I would assume clearly.
Yeah.
But he was pretty huge to begin with. Like, when him and Egoraptor joined up, they were both, like, around, like, 1 million subs, I want to say.
Yeah, because Egoraptor, most of Egoraptor's claim to fame, he started off when I remember him from Newgrounds, because I was one of the submitters over in Newgrounds, submitting my own little material and stuff like that. And Egoraptor was doing his, like, little animations and stuff. When YouTube started getting hot, Egoraptor went over there and started posting like his animations, but he was never really that big until he did the Sony contest, if you guys remember that. And then he got kicked. Awful. Yeah, but he got kicked off of that fucking show because they were just being dicks to him.
Yeah,
it was obvious no one wanted him there because he was an internet celebrity, and it was a contract to be a developer. So the guy was trying to get up there and be something, do something with his life basically. Because no offense, he wasn't really doing much. Apart from the YouTube stuff. And after that, he basically joined up with JonTron to do the Game Grumps. And it was just them playing games. And I think the reason why it got so big was because of the comedy. It was it wasn't the games they were playing, it was the fact that these guys were just being hilarious.
Yeah, I don't think they thought that it was going to be as big as it got.
Yeah. And, a lot of people actually even, because I saw a lot of YouTube channels talking about how JonTron is the most annoying YouTuber of all because basically he does the JonTron stuff, but he also has a channel dedicated to him posting videos of his family. But again, it's one of those things where you sit there and think, the dude's solid for what he is. He's funny. And ever since I started watching the JonTron videos, I love what he does. And he's also one of the guys behind Did You Know Gaming, and he's got like a load of other avenues out there for him to actually collect a paycheck on. So he's really, really good. So I can understand why they did the Game Grumps thing to add a little extra incentive there for him. But now more than ever, he's going his own separate way, and it's I don't see an issue with it. He's fun, but in terms of Game Grumps itself, it's kind of one of those things for me. I watch it every now and then, but it's not one of those things that I could religiously watch.
I can understand. To kind of like bring full circle this whole Game Grumps JonTron like talk. When I was at the Friend Zone panel, JonTron was clear there. There was a Q&A portion, and someone had the balls to ask JonTron, like, "Oh, will you ever come back for a guest Grumps or anything like that?" And he's clearly stated on multiple occasions on like social media, like, I'm done with it. That's behind me. I'm not doing Grumps anymore. And someone asked the question, and I found this on Reddit. I just shared it with you guys. This is a picture where you can see a GIF of some guy in the audience. It's like the hardest eye roll ever from the moment the guy asked the question. And it was pretty painful, like, at the panel. Like, when as soon as the word Grumps came out of the questioner's mouth, like, the whole crowd just, like, a unanimous groan of, like, you went there, you douche.
Oh, man.
So what happened? Did he get angry?
No, JonTron kept his composure. He was kind of like, no. I'm not going to go back to Game Grumps. Final answer. Like, that was it, and he moved on.
I wonder if
he was
falling out.
No, he was like, wait, is that Poop Rat? Is that fucking Poop Rat?
He did not say that's a fucking Poop Rat.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to say that. I wasn't even at that panel. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Do you want to be at that panel, Zach? Did you want to suck JonTron off?
I was at a panel, a different one when they were there. That's why I wasn't at that one. I was at something else.
Oh, what was the panel?
Oh, the Golden Age of RPGs. Yep.
It's kind of in the other room now.
She just brought me a beer. She's taking care of her man, but she's about to be in the other room.
Is it because she was near JonTron and you rolled your eyes and told her, like, that's it, our relationship is strained, and she brought you a beer and you're like, I love you?
The JonTron thing, we were just joking. She didn't blow the dude, but no, we were at the Golden Age of RPGs, which I found interesting, but yeah, I mean, I like to hear what JonTron says, because I do think he is funny.
Yeah, he is funny.
He is funny, and he does a bunch of funny things. There was one time, if you guys ever watch the Charlie's Angels video, there's a part where where she starts dancing, and he does this like eye rub, and I watched that part like a week ago. I had seen it before, but a week ago I put it on like before work because I was just laying in bed and I just wanted to watch something before I got up, and he does this like eye rub. And it's so funny that I watched it like 45 times in a row, like laughing hysterically. It's just so good. And he has those moments, like Star Wars Connect, when he watches. You played the Han Solo song.
Yeah.
When he sees that for the first time, he's like, "Oh my God!" And the camera zooms in on his face, and it's really funny. So he does have his moments of being really funny. But yeah, whatever. I don't even know how he got on this JonTron thing, but yeah, I know he's funny.
So saying that, right, you're basically, was there anybody else like at this event that you knew of, any YouTubers that you thought, oh God, that guy's there?
At least for the Friend Zone panel that I was at, since it's hosted by Dodger, she was there, and she's really cool. I don't watch a lot of her stuff, but I watch a lot of things on Polaris, and she generally hosts everything. She's cool. And
Polaris
Markiplier
also hosts like Games Grumps as well, don't they? They're like the YouTube partner.
They're hosting their side projects now,
yeah.
Like Table Flip, their board game series.
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah, that's really good too. But also there was Markiplier. He's a really big YouTuber, just mainly Let's Player. He's got the voice of a radio god, just this baritone that will have sex with anything that hears it.
You know who else has that voice? Lord Carnage. What is his? Or is that's maybe who you're talking about?
No. I know what you're talking about, Lord. That's over at the Classic Game Room.
Classic Game Room, yeah.
Mark.
He has a voice that is panty dropper. He does, right? He was there. Lord Carnage was there. He had a panel, but I didn't realize until after it was already done.
Did you drop your pants when you
I
saw
dropped
it?
everything. Lord Carnage is the fucking man. He's awesome.
He's like, hello, Zack, and then Zack just comes out of the toilet and just like, ugh.
I was like, oh, for some reason I'm naked.
Yes. Carnage is like, Zack, where's your clothes?
I don't know.
I don't know. I gave it to Lord Carnage.
That's not important right now.
He asked me to go into his Classic Game Room, and I did.
I did.
There was plenty of anal rape, but still.
It wasn't rape.
I enjoyed it. Oh God! So, you had like all these little expos, exhibitions, and stuff going on. What was the three of you? What was the coolest experience that you guys had there? It's like the one moment that sort of set the whole show for you guys.
Well, for me, cosplaying at least, I was like a semi-celebrity the 2 days I dressed up for it. We went there all 3 days. For Friday and Saturday, I was Mario with my dick in a block, and having people stop me pretty much everywhere I'm going, laughing, making me take pictures with them. That was a blast. So I'll take my hat off to that one. That was great. I had a blast being Mario.
That was.
I think
cool,
I saw a picture of you with that on Kotaku. I'm not sure if that was.
What? I'm about to Google it right now.
So. Yeah, Google that because I'm pretty sure.
Well, I shared the album on the Game Grumps subreddit, and it went front page for like a day, and had like 400 like link karma attached to it, which is the one I shared with you guys. Yeah, the Imager album has almost like 5,000 views, so people like my dick.
In a block?
Yeah.
You've got the most popular dick in the world, so I think that's a feat not known by many others. So, what about you, Zack? What was the moment that sort of made your day?
I there's not really one moment for me. I loved the whole thing. I can't really pick one moment, but I just loved the experience. It was really good. Like I said, I've never been to anything even like that. And granted, something like a retro expo was like more up my alley. It's more something that I do. I normally play things from the 80s and 90s. I don't necessarily play a lot of newer things unless they're maybe RPGs. I don't play like a lot of computer things. But so it was kind of like out of my element, but at the same point, it was still games and it was still games, and I loved it. It was just awesome. And I don't know, there wasn't any one moment. I loved the entire thing. I loved every minute of it.
Well, what about panels, Zack? Did you have like a favorite panel? Like, was the Game Trade one your best?
No, my favorite panel was, there was a game collecting panel that was hosted by the guys who do video game price charts, which was really cool, and I really liked that one. But my favorite panel was the one about localizing video games, which was talking about like Japanese games coming to America and people who actually translate them and fix the lost in translation stuff. And it was really good. I really enjoyed that because they were people who work on games that I play and I have played and that I love. There were people who worked for Square, there were people who worked for NIS, and there were people who worked for Atlas. And it was awesome. I loved that panel. There
was like the best part in that panel because like they have chances to like talk about things, and then at the end like people can line up and ask questions. This one guy asked, he's like, have you ever had a moment translating where you just had like a nailed it moment? And the guy from NIS America was like, I don't remember which game he was talking about. Do you remember, Zack?
It was Disgaea, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I thought it was Disgaea.
Yeah, and he said in the literal translation from Japanese was Captain Pervert. And he was like, so I translated it as Napoleon Bonerhard. Like, it's just I thought it was the funniest thing ever, Napoleon Bonerhard.
It was amazing, yeah.
It's a good porno name.
And they were talking about the game that just came out for the Vita and the 3DS. I believe that was Atlas, Conception 2. And he was like, I was writing notes to the people who were, like, the actresses, like, I'm sorry you have to say this. Like, because it was like so perverted or something ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh God. So basically, with perverted names, what sort of stood out for you then, Carla? Apart from the perverted name, of course, was there anything that made you sort of go, yay?
In that specific panel, or?
Yeah.
I just thought it was really cool to hear like what work was actually involved in bringing a game from Japan to the United States. I thought just everything in general was extremely interesting, like how much work it actually takes. I mean, to me, I'm just like, oh, there's a game and like someone made it, but I don't know what work went into it, especially translating it. Like no one thinks of that really, at least I don't. So overall, I just thought that was amazing.
Awesome. So, in terms of PAX East, you guys were extremely impressed then.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Especially when I got to play Steel Battalion.
Oh yeah, okay. So outside of things like panels and PAX floor, they have rooms where you can like play classic games, or you can play modern games, or you can do, like there'll be like a Super Smash Brothers tournament or something. Anyway, one of the rooms, it had 10 setups for Steel Battalion, the Xbox game with the huge ass controller and pedals. And you sit down in these chairs, so 10 people can sit on these chairs. So you wait till the group that's up is done, and then you get up and you fill the seats. And it's 5-on-5, and they teach you how to play the game. It's all out. They tell you how it works, how you play it, what the buttons do. You play against each other for 10 minutes, and it's awesome. It was really cool. I love doing that.
So, in sort of Steel's Battalion, then, who was the winner out of you three, or were you the only one who played it?
I was dead last. I was dead fucking last. I was 10 out of 10. I don't know who won.
I was 8 out of 10.
But so it was
myself and Mike Martin played. We weren't that awful. We weren't dead last like some suckers.
Yeah, I was dead last, and there were some shitty people playing.
There's actually a joke amongst our group of friends that it's a wonder how Zack ever beats any game.
I have no clue.
Nobody knows how I've ever beaten a game in my life.
So basically, like basically like your two noobs video. So Zack's like that all the time.
Yeah. Well, when we
he's not hamming it up. He's not trying to be bad. He's bad.
I'm not him. If you watch the newest 2 Pro Noobs video, the Road Rash 3, Kyle and I had no clue what the fuck we're doing. And I'm like, what is going on? And I don't know if anyone here watched it, but there was a part where like a car ran my bike over, and it was like stuck under the car, and I couldn't get it out. And I was like, fuck it, I'll run the race. And I was running like 1 mile an hour, so I was like, screw that. And I ran back to grab the bike. But like, we had never, like when we do 2 Pro Noobs, these are games we've never played before, pretty much. So like, yeah, we suck ass. We don't have a manual. We've never played it. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I turned the game on. We played for 15 minutes, and there's the video. I don't know. But if you watch the Road Rash 3 one, that is the prime example of us not knowing shit about a game. We have no clue what the fuck we're doing in that video.
I just want to point out the funniest part of the whole video is when you got your bike stuck under that truck.
Yeah, the truck ran. Okay, so the truck hits me, and then Kyla smashes into the truck, and the truck like ran my bike over, but Kyla got right on her bike and drove away, and I couldn't get my bike out from under the truck.
Sounds like Kyla. Yeah. Kyla, help me! No, just drive off.
There was one part where like there was one part where I was flying, like I smashed into something, but as I did, I like went past the finish line, and they had these. So like one funny thing about Road Rash 3 is when you finish the race, they have like an animation. And one time I'm driving by and someone throws their car door open and my character smashes into it and goes flying over the car. It's like, who's the hell making this shit? I loved it. I love that.
Don't they call you, like, if you don't win in Road Rash, they're like, oh, look at this loser, and they throw like tomatoes at you or something?
Yeah, there's a guy who was like pretty much like, hey, player A, you suck ass. And when I looked at his name, he wasn't even like first, second, or third. So it's like, who the fuck are you to tell me I suck ass?
So the game was basically trolling you.
Yeah, oh yeah. One problem I had with that game was on the cover, it's a guy hitting another dude with nunchucks, but I couldn't find any weapons. I was just punching and kicking people, so I don't know where all that other shit went.
Stuck underneath a truck.
Yeah, well, we were smashing the shit all the time, yeah. But, the truck ran my bike over. I couldn't get it out.
You guys, you've got to check out their YouTube channel because there is some funny shit going on. Now I know that Zach's like this in real life. As soon as I come over, I'll be able to basically just beat you in everything.
Oh, you will. Trust me, no one knows how I've beaten anything. Booch, we will not talk about the Chrono Trigger story here.
Come on.
Oh, wait, hold on.
You've done it now. You've opened up your Pandora's box.
Wait, there's an issue here because I watched them play Chrono Trigger side by side.
No, that was
and Zach may suck at games, but playing games with Booch is the worst.
Come on.
Okay.
Oh, we did play Chrono Trigger. That's right. I forgot.
Elaborate. Wait. What happened? What happens with Booch?
Well, Booch is like he does speed runs. I don't know if you knew this, but so to him every game is a speed run. Like he doesn't like to explore or do anything. He's just like, nope, we're going here. I don't care what's in that chest. Just go past it.
Point A to point B. Come on.
That is like playing games with my kids though. They do speed runs. It's like I recently did I was playing Mario 3D World, sort of doing a let's play with my kids. My nephew was just like zooming past everybody. We would basically die every time he was zooming past. One level.
You guys need to get Ratchet and Clank All for One.
He's literally there's this little like podium you jump on, and the podium goes if everyone's on there. He'll jump on it first and leave us all behind him.
Yep.
Oh yeah, of course.
And we're all like,
that's a smart kid you got.
Yeah, and but he would like run to the end and get to the fucking totem pole before everybody else. You jump and get higher on the totem pole than he does, he breaks into tears. I've literally had videos where he's in tears, and I'm sitting there going, Rion, we're recording. Stop it. Just stop crying. Stop crying.
Booch does the same thing, except he will like shit his fuck out of deck, like yell. He'll just. I
get Tourette's real bad when things go sour.
When Zach and Booch used to be roommates, sometimes I'd be over there and I'd be in Zach's room, and like Booch would be playing games, and then we would just hear like this Tourette style yelling.
He'd be like, "Shit on a cock," and we could like hear it through the walls, and we'd just be laughing our ass off.
You're like, does he have Tourette's or is he watching scat porn?
So good.
It's really funny. Yeah.
It might have been German Scheiße. I'm not sure.
Not sure yet.
Oh man, you take loads of Scheiße to the face. You're amazing in Scheiße porn. So saying about that then, in terms of like the way you guys play games, your last and everything like that. What games did you sat there and thought to yourself, yeah, I'm really successful at? You know, come on, Zach, you must have a game that you excel at and nobody can do.
F-Zero.
Yeah, right.
I've almost beaten F-Zero. Fuck you, I beat Tetris DS, so kiss my ass on that one.
Tetris? You can't beat Tetris.
Well, I beat Tetris DS, so eat my balls.
There's no beating Tetris.
Yes, well, technically, there's the highest stage you can get to, so...
Did it say congratulations? You beat Tetris?
No, Tetris yes actually does. Yeah, it does. When you get up to level 20 and you do 10 lines, it says, and you beat 10 or clear 10 lines, it says it gives you this whole ending sequence thing, and then after that you can set it on infinite. But anyway,
Craig, we need to go and get popcorn, man, because this is getting good.
Anyway,
Zach versus Booch.
Well, here's the thing. Booch is actually really good at like all games. I'm trying to think of even one game I'm good at. I mean, I've beaten a shit ton of games. No one knows how, but I don't know.
But have you beaten them as in 100% completion, or have you just beaten them as in, yeah, I got the end credits?
A lot of the games that I beat are like NES games, so I don't know, or like Super Nintendo games. So I mean, I don't know really where you compare like 100% completion. There's no ratio.
Well, it's like games like Dishonored, for instance. For me, I've beaten it, but I haven't beaten it 100% completion.
There's very few games that I'll do 100% completion unless they really entice me. The fishing game I played recently, I beat 100%.
I caught every fish in LA.
I like that game. I 100% of that one. There's some games that I won't even finish. There's a 3DS game I played recently that I was like, nope, this game's gay, so I didn't finish that. But But normally, I mean, it's hard to say, like, oh, I beat Stick of Truth 100%. Well, to be fair, I did all the quests, but I missed, like, a couple Chin Pokemon and friends. Sorry.
Loser.
So I didn't 100% it, but I did all the quests. Loser. And one of the things that was bullshit about the Stick of Truth was 3 of the pairs of clothing or not pairs, but 3 of the 3 pieces of clothing that you can get, you got from either pre-ordering or you have to buy like in the store. So fuck that.
So I take it you never bought the clothing.
No, of course not. Hell no. I had the best shit like just from playing the game. I don't need the bullshit stuff they gave you for pre-ordering.
Sounds like a 95% completion, if you ask me.
You do speed runs. You don't 100% anything.
See, that's why my style is better, because I see credits and then I'm done. And I don't have to worry about anything else.
I mean, I don't care about 100% in games. Like, again, unless it really entices me. Like, I played Grand Theft Auto 5, just the story mode, all the way through. I tried to get as much stuff as I could during gameplay, but after I completed it and I saw the credits, I was just like, this was an excellent game. I'm not going to go back and get all the extra shit. I might play the story mode through one more time, but I don't care about collecting all that garbage.
No, and to be fair, like, Zach's like an actual game collector. Like, I'm a modest game collector, and I feel like that shows in like our actual gameplay styles. He tries to explore everything, get all the nooks and crannies, see everything a game's got, and I'm just trying to get to the finish line. I'm like a min-maxer. I'm like trying to optimize everything to the max. Whatever I got, whatever, point A, point B, and he's checking every nook and cranny. Like, that's why it was really cool. I think it was over a year ago, we were playing Chrono Trigger at the same time. And it was really cool because I would always be ahead of Zach, but he would always find things and be like, yo, you missed this. This is a really cool power-up thing hiding over here. And I like, if I had time, I'd backtrack over and get them. Like, all right, cool, sweet. That's really cool. And like, since I'm always ahead of him, I could tell him how to beat the bosses that he was having trouble on. It was like a really good teamwork thing that we had going.
I agree. It was really fun. We did it for Chrono and we did it for Final Fantasy VII.
It's true.
Didn't you guys do another one? Because that was the summer of RPGs.
Yeah, it was. I can't remember though.
We started Final Fantasy 3.
Oh, we did Mario RPG.
Yes, you did do Mario RPG.
Right.
Okay. So going on from that then, what did you guys like do at PAX East? Did you give in like to tell people about your YouTube channel and stuff?
When we were standing in line for the the game collecting one, there was a guy talking to another guy, and we were kind of bored. I had my 3DS, but I didn't really feel like playing it, and I overheard this guy talking, and he's from our area, and he was talking about places where he buys games. So I just intervened, like, sorry for eavesdropping, but where do you buy your games? I live near you. And we started talking, and then he's like, oh, are you guys YouTubers? He's like, so I recognize you from some videos. And then I think that was the only interaction we ever had like that.
Oh, my God, you guys are, like, so famous?
And then Zach just goes, yeah, just come into this corner with me in this dark alley.
I'm like,
yeah. Like, wait. I recognize these boobs from somewhere. Come with me.
But then we saw Rue there, too, from RetroWare.
Cool.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, Zach was like,
video in a while.
What's up?
It was really funny because Zach was like, oh, he's from RetroWare TV. I was like, go say hi to him. You know who he is. He's like, no. I was like, dude, just when are you ever going to see this person again? Go talk to him.
Yeah, so I just went up and as we were leaving, I was like, yo, man, I'm a big fan of the stuff you do on YouTube. And he's like, oh, thanks. Nice to meet you or whatever. Yeah, so he was cool. But I also
seems like a really cool, laid-back guy.
Yeah, yeah, he was. And I also think there weren't really many people coming up to him. I also saw Pete Dorr there, and he was walking around by himself with no one really giving a fuck. I don't know. He honestly, like, he had his hair cut, so I almost didn't even recognize him. It wasn't like short or anything, but it was just like, it's almost weird like seeing somebody on like video all the time and then like in real IRL. It's almost like, is that him? Even though maybe it even looked just like him. I don't know, but I know I saw him there for a second. He walked by us when we were going somewhere, and then but I did talk to Rue because he is cool, and I do think he's funny, and I like his videos and stuff. So.
Oh yeah.
So in terms of like PAX East itself, so generally you guys would say it's a huge success for you guys.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Definitely going back.
A+.
One thing I do want to ask you, Zach, did you manage to get anyone to trade with you? Because I remember you were going to bring like a huge load of like shit down to PAX East with you, and people just trade like covers and games of stuff that you found dumpster diving.
A bunch of the people who contacted me about that just asked, if they could just send me a couple bucks and I'd ship it to them. So a lot of the people who contacted me about that stuff, or all of them, I should say, didn't go to PAX. I got a bunch of emails about that stuff from people. But one thing I want to mention was when they had at the end, like Sunday, right before it closed, this one booth put like a $1 sticker on all like these 2 bins of games. And Kyla and I just raided that shit.
Well, I think it was more like you and Booch because I had it.
Yeah, well, it's like me and Kyla, and then when we ran into Booch, I told Booch about it, and then we both went back. We gangbanged those bins.
Although you
it was nothing but Madden and garbage.
Did you see like Alpha Omega Sin's video of him and the Game Chasers going dumpster diving, and it was really...
Wait, who's the one who threw up?
Oh, 8-Bit Eric. When Tyler and I watched that, we laughed our ass off because he like pukes, then pukes again, then this huge ass stream of puke comes out. That was amazing.
Yeah, because I just saw him going in there. He went to the dumpster and he's like throwing up all over the floor, and they're all cracking up and pointing and laughing at him.
Yeah.
And they're all going like, we're going in there. It's a GameStop bin, and then this woman comes out and finds them. And they're all just standing going, "Yeah, is this GameStop's bin? No, that's gone. What? They've taken the bin away?"
Yeah, it was like Subway or something, like some like food place that threw like their scraps away.
Wait, is he the one who threw up when he went to go lick that guy's nipple too?
Yeah, Apex Eric in the new Game Chasers episode. Yeah, he licked Keeb the Joking Gamer. He licked his nipple and then puked in the toilet. He has the shittiest stomach ever.
Oh god, yeah, it cracked me up. It's like I just looked at that video and I thought, Zach probably does it better than those guys. Zach would probably jump in there. He wouldn't give a shit if there was diapers.
Oh, I don't give a fuck.
So say that Zach, what you like? I know you've got like more dumpster diving fans, like coming your way. Does anyone like talk to you about your YouTube videos and stuff from the channel?
I mean, I just get random emails from people, and like people leave comments, and I get random emails from people, but there's no one really like text sending me messages. There was one guy in the first 2 Pro Noobs episode, the one that we actually literally filmed with a camera.
Yeah.
There was a guy who actually sent me a message about that, telling me like how I could improve, the actual footage quality, which was cool. Because it's weird because like on YouTube, it doesn't always seem like you have a lot of support besides the people who support you, because everyone else almost kind of seems like an asshole in a lot of ways. Like they don't want to help you out, even though like I would love to help out anyone on YouTube. But it just seems like at the same way, like when we did our videos before, it's like, you see like 3 like dislikes, but it's like, well, what didn't you dislike? Tell me what you didn't like, and then they just never respond. So it's like, are you just being an asshole or what? I don't know.
Oh,
but I love dumpster diving. I gave Booch a Stick of Truth display box. I just try to give the stuff away to people who need it. Otherwise, it's just going to a landfill somewhere.
No, I agree with you. I don't understand what GameStop's practices of throwing covers and stuff away.
Forget even covers. I found a play-in charge kit the other day.
Seriously?
Yeah, for a 360. Yeah.
Fuck me, man.
Well, I mean, he also found an Xbox One case. They're already throwing those away.
Yeah, I found an Xbox One game case for like NBA 2K14 or whatever. They're already throwing those out.
Why do they always throw the cases away? I don't understand that.
They don't have room in their storage.
When we went to visit Booch, not this time but the time before, we stopped at the GameStop and they had a game I wanted called The Hidden. It's a 3DS game that's supposed to be like a horror game, and we walked in, and I was like, "Do you have the Hidden?" He was like, "Yeah, we have a copy," and it was like $5, and I was like, "Well, where's like the case and stuff?" And he's like, "Oh, we have to throw that out. We don't have room for that in the store." And like as he said that, I look around, and there is so much open space in that store. So managers, whoever, I guess, are just like, throw them out, get rid of them, whatever, because they can't even be that old, like 3 years old at the most. I don't know when the 3DS came out, but I don't know. It's annoying because when you look at Super Nintendo games and Genesis games, you're lucky to get them with a case, especially Super Nintendo and NES cardboard stuff, N64 a case, a box with a manual and that kind of stuff. And the amount of money you pay for those goes up if you want it complete or with a manual or whatever way you want it. I'm going to tell you, when we get to 10 years from now, 15 years from now, the amount of games for PS2, PS3, Xbox 360, original Xbox that are complete are going to be slim pickings. You're going to be getting disc-only shit all over the place. People, all the GameStop who throw all that shit out, you're going to be lucky to get it complete, in my opinion.
I agree with you on that one.
That, and they want you to download every fucking game.
Yeah, fuck that. We had there was an IGG about that.
Yeah, we did actually do that. And that's another thing, because I went with my nephew recently down to the local game, which is down Lucian, and they had Titanfall for the 360 out. I looked at it and I went to them, I know this is a different game entirely from the Xbox One version because it's by a different developer. I turned over the box. I was like, can I have a look at the box? So I turned over the box, looked at it and went, shit, this game's online multiplayer only. I handed it back to him and was like, I've got to think about it if I'm going to purchase this game or not. I want the game, but the same level is I don't want a game that you have to go online to play. That I kind of half tolerate it with downloadable shit, But when you've got a disc-based game that, as soon as the servers are done on that, you're kind of fucked.
Yeah.
So it kind of like leaves you in a bit of a bind in terms of like games like that. And I understand totally. It bugs me. But saying that, if they threw out a couple of downloadable cards, I wouldn't be saying no to that. Just saying.
Well, to be fair, like if you were to buy the Xbox One right now with the Titanfall bundle, the game is free and you can get it for like $450. So you can get the game for free.
I know, but at the same level, I don't think I want to spend about $450 for the Xbox One, knowing what I know in terms of the whole fucking downloadable bullshit of like them maybe putting back DRM. It's really, really silly. And at the moment, I've been talking to my friend who's still having problems with his Xbox One as is, and Microsoft are telling him that he has to keep it connected online in order to install his games.
After all that, like, promising that they're going to get rid of all the DRM and stuff, and they're just slowly bringing it back one by one.
Yeah, it annoys me, and it's like what Angry Joe was saying about the whole Steam Humble Bundle thing. If you're going to give people a choice of renting games, don't fucking hunt the charges up on those, Actually, you know what? Carla, while we've got you here, I wanted to ask you a little question about your opinion on the whole Metal Gear Ground Zeroes thing.
Wait. Well, what?
We talked about this quite recently. I think it was myself, Zach, Xandar, and Travis talked about this. Metal Gear Ground Zeroes is basically the deal with this game was it was supposed to be like a prequel to the new Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain, but the game itself is literally just a single level. Well, and the story complete it within less than an hour.
Oh yeah, that's right. Is that what we had? Yeah. Wasn't Tim playing that?
When we were the 2 nights, Thursday and Friday night, Tim came out. He's one of the dudes. He was one of the guys with Booch in that picture with the block, and he was the other guy with us with Earthworm Jim. And he brought that game because he's a huge Metal Gear Solid guy. And I actually had a fantastic time watching him play that game. Yeah, there's one story mission and the other ones are side missions to do, but there was one mission. And has anyone here actually played Ground Zeroes?
I've seen the Let's Play on it because I won't buy it until it goes pre-owned. I'm a huge Metal Gear fan as well.
Well, I mean, it's one level for what, $30?
Well, no, there's one area, and in that area, there's one actual story mission, and then the rest of them are side quests, which we talked about this, and I think the idea of Ground Zeroes has a much bigger picture, which I don't think a lot of people understand until the Phantom Pain comes out, and I'm not going to ruin anything because I think the stuff that Tim was talking about I think is actually true, and the reason that game was made the way it was made. But anyway, there's one mission where you have to go and kill these 2 people, the finger and the eye. One guy was a sniper, the other guy was the spotter. Well, there's a kill them, and then you get out and you finish the mission. But if you want to be a badass, you can just trank the two of them and extract them from the point. And there was a time, and I lost my mind how funny this was. So Tim like loves Metal Gear Solid. So the guy, the Eye or whatever the hell his name is, he gets like, so this dude gets in a truck and then the Eye gets in a truck and they go to drive away. And as they go to drive away, Tim shoots the Eye like in the back of his head and he falls out the side of the car. And then after he falls out, like the guy's driving a little more and then realizes that the dude is gone. So he stops the car, gets the exclamation point over his head, gets out to get the dude, and Tim tranks him, and then runs over and grabs the guy. It was so funny. It was, I don't know, like this was like, if this was filmed, it could have got easily 1 million views. It was so fucking funny. And then he tranked the finger like on the middle of a flight line and then just ran over, grabbed him, and extracted him. And I don't know, it was just great. I wish everyone got to see it.
So the deal with it is what you're saying is that it's like one level and it's like a $30 game pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's like a demo is the point, but
why would you pay $30 for a demo?
I'm going to say right now, I was all against it. I'm not saying I'm going to buy it, but I had a fantastic
the first thing you
time.
said to Tim was you did not pay $30 for this, did you?
I know. I that's the first thing I said, but then when I actually sat down and played it with him, I had a great time with it. I thought it was really fun. I was just watching him. I was laughing my ass off, having a great time.
Wait, were you there when Bella was playing it and Tim was getting all butt hurt?
Yeah.
Because our friend Bella is pretty much like, like Mr. Magoo. When it comes to games, he just kind of like fumbles around, but somehow he like ends up doing really well. Like he did missions like so much better than Tim, like on accident.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm not saying it's worth $30, but it's a good game. There's like 6 missions, which I know still isn't shit. It's not much, but there's 6 missions. They take a little while. I don't know. It was fun. I'm not saying I paid $30, but it's not the worst thing. I mean, it's better than some $60 games that come out that are just pure shit.
How much would you pay for Metal Gear Ground Zeroes, though?
$10.
Yeah, that's about right. Maybe $14.99.
No, it's too much.
I would pay $10.
Okay, so my question to you there, Kyla. Would you pay? Did you play it? Have you had a chance to have a turn on it?
No, I watched them play it and I was satisfied with that.
Yeah, is it one of those things that you'd sit there and think to yourself, I'll probably buy that if you saw it in a bargain bin, would you grab it?
I don't know. I don't like stealth games, so no.
Okay. That's fair enough on that one. At least we got your opinion on that.
Yeah.
So, last but not least, guys, round off in terms of like PAX East. Did you say it's been a whole enjoyable time? Was it sort of insightful? Was it one of those things that you felt that for anybody else who wants to go like to something like that, would you say go there because you get to interview loads of people and have fun, or sort of like go there if you're a hardcore gamer, go there just for the experience?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I'm sorry, Booch. Go ahead.
My big recommendation is if you like any kind of games, go. If you have the chance, even for just a day, check it out. There's panels for literally everything. There's panels for literally everything. There's board games, there's card games, there's video games for big companies and indie games. Go check it out. You'll find something.
Awesome. Zach?
Yeah, I didn't understand what it was going to be. I knew it was like a big convention, but when I got there, it was just so much better than I ever thought it was going to be. It was just awesome. Like Booch says, there's something for everyone. If you like magic cards, if you like board games, if you like walking around, if you like buying stuff, if you like computer games, if you like indie games, if you like a specific brand, there's everything. One of the coolest things at that place was at the Evolve booth, they had a full-size fucking statue of so in Evolve you can play as 4 people versus that one Predator type thing. And, I mean, it doesn't look anything like Predator, it's just a Predator. And they had a full-size statue of him, and I thought it looked amazing. It was just awesome. I just thought it was so cool. The amount of like love and care that goes into it is just awesome. And plus, one of the booths, if you bought clothes, they gave you a token to put in this gumball machine, and if you spun the gumball machine, like a sticker will come out, like they made. So like a Mario
and
one.
Zach dumpster dough.
So it was like you could get a Mario sticker or a Zelda sticker or whatever sticker. And I look in the garbage, and there's one of the balls in there that someone threw out. And I picked it out of the trash, and it was an Earthbound sticker. So it was pretty sweet.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice find.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll dumpster dive anywhere. I don't give a shit. Well, yeah, it's just the experience. Go have it if you can, because there's 3 PAXs. There's East, there's West, and there's Prime, I think. So.
And Australia.
Is there any difference to any of these PAXs, or is it just all sort of the same thing?
I wouldn't know. I've never been. I assume they're all the same.
I believe it's the same thing, just
probably different people.
Different companies go at different times of the year, and it's different regional kind of stuff. That's about it.
Yeah, I would imagine it's like if you ever see like a band you want is touring, and they have like different openers during different times in the cycle of their shows.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that analogy. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. So now, Kyla, what about you for the last pass on PAX? Would you say experience for you? It's one of those things that you've kind of enjoyed. You've gone out there and did it. And for anybody else, what would you tell them?
Overall, when it comes to PAX, I'm not huge into PC gaming, which seemed to be like a huge focus there, or at least those were the biggest vendors. And that's kind of what I noticed there. But beyond that, there are plenty of other things that you can do there, game-related. If you like games, then you should just go, period. Especially with the tabletop, like I like to dabble in Magic. I've been wanting to get into D&D. All of those things are there amongst every other board game you can think of. And definitely there are retro vendors there, but just if you like video games in general, you should just go. Like to be able to be just in that atmosphere of other people who love video games, you can talk to anyone you want to there and no one's going to give a shit. You're just in the community and like fully immersed in it for like 3 days. And it's the most fantastic thing in the world.
Man, we should have a Retro Unlim field trip to one of these things.
I would love that. Absolutely, that would be.
Oh,
amazing.
hell yeah!
You know, they actually PAX has announced recently that they're expanding for another convention, and it's going to be PAX South.
Really?
Well, yeah, it's going to be in San Antonio, Texas.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck Texas.
Whoa, I want to visit Texas.
I don't.
So there we go, guys. What we're going to do now is we're going to move on to the plugs. So let's start with our guest, Jeff Booch. Jeff, where can we find you?
You can find me on these two schlubs YouTube channel, Getting Your Nerd On. Myself and my buddy Tom, we do some Magic segments for them. We'll have another one coming up in the coming week. We are starting to try a new format where instead of showcasing our decks, which we have showcased a lot of at this point, we're going to start having matches against each other, so you can hear us spout obscenities at each other while we cast spells.
Awesome.
What about Twitch? Twitch? Booch, you're on Twitch.
I barely stream. Twitch.tv/BoochmanX. If I'm there, come hang out.
And if you want to watch speed plays, Booch is your man. Zach, what about yourself?
Oh, you can find us on youtube.com/gettingyournerdon. We have a Modest Magic every other week pretty much, which is Booch and Tom. Every Wednesday we have a Two Pro Noobs, which is our Let's Play segment, and they tend to get really funny. And like the last one was really funny, Road Rash 3. So I hope everyone go watch it. I loved it. I even watched it after we filmed it. And I thought it was funny. And then we have our new segment called Complete Gaming. Where we
someone's ripping someone else off.
What do you do?
Where we have Complete Gaming, where we do the $20 challenge, where we both take $20 for a week and get our pickups. People let us know what they like, who spend it better. Then we recommend a game, and then we give you guys a collecting tip. You can find us there. Also, it's called Just the Tip of the Week. And then we're also on Facebook. You can find Kyla at twitch.tv/gettingyournerdon when she streams her PS4 stuff. And then you can find the band that I'm in with Booch Killtech9 at killtech9.bandcamp.com, KILTAC9.bandcamp.com.
Yeah, so make sure you check them out on there, guys. And as always, you can find Getting Your Nerd on the Exodus Gaming Podcast, IGG, and also my stuff from Nerd Genius on www.nerdgenius.com. I post very regularly. Every time they do a video, I usually save everything up at the end of the week and post loads of articles talking about their vids and stuff like that as well. You can find them on m4g.com and Reddit, and also loads of other different places as well when people aren't trolling me, calling me an illiterate scumbag. So check those out as well. Craig, what about you? Where can we find you?
You can find me on Facebook, Craig Kellerman, if you want to talk to me here. I'm on this Retro Unlim Network. I do the on-radio show with Travis Goss and mostly with Mr. Burhan. And I guess I'll be on this show once in a while, if you let me.
Yeah, of course. You're always welcome on here, my friend. And there's a slew of other shows on the Retro Unlim Network. If you want to get your fins wet, you can, and you've got some free time, jump on. Same goes for anybody else, of course, as well. And you, Zach, I know you've been expressing a fondness to jump on the radio show whenever you're ready. And Travis, what about you?
As mentioned, I have a show here on the Retro Unlim Network on Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, and it's the On-Radio Show, the tongue-in-cheek approach to those morning zoo radio shows that you listen to. And basically, while they have the FCC standing behind them with tasers at hand, we are very free-form. We talk about whatever we want, discuss the weird, wildest news, play the craziest raunchy music. We've also played music from Ninja Sex Party as well as Starbomb. We play music from those guys. Really good stuff. Go check it out Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, only on the Retro Unlim Network. And you can find me on, excuse me, so getting over a cough here. You can find me on Tuesday nights with Miguel and Michael Burhan, Miguel Leon, that is, for the Untitled Movie Show, where it's all about movies. Great stuff, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, Tuesday nights. And, of course, you can find me on I Got Gameplay every Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. You can find me on YouTube, youtube.com/RoseColorReviews, youtube.com/RoseColorLet'sPlay. You want to get a hold of me on Twitter, my handle is TravisScott79, and Facebook.com/TravisScott1979 is how you can find me if you want to get a hold of me.
And last but not least, of course, without her would probably be a show full of genitals. Kyla, where would we find you?
Well, I mean, Zach already did our plugs, but me and Zach do our channel together, Getting Your Nerd On, which is on YouTube, all one word. I do Twitch occasionally, which is also Getting Your Nerd On, all one word. And, I mean, if you want to, sometimes I mostly post pictures, gaming pickups, and whenever we go to conventions on Instagram, and that's Kiki Buttface.
Yes, and no nudes, guys. She doesn't show any nudes, but Zach does.
Yeah, I do. I show nudes.
Just go to his page. He's like bottomless as we speak. He just the fact that he's just in this Facebook thing, he's just showing his shirt and a tie. That's all he's wearing.
I have a shirt and a tie, and I'm bottomless. Besides that,
yeah, he just standing there with his bare ass on the sofa and his dick just hanging out and hitting Australia right now. There's earthquakes being caused by the size of his madness. So yes, and also if you want to find us, of course. Facebook.com/IGotGameplay. We're getting a hell of a lot new in terms of likes. We're on 315 likes. Our episodes of IGG are doing really well. We're getting over 700 views. Hopefully this PAX East episode is going to do the same. Thank you to everybody that's been supporting us. Buy a t-shirt, you cheap cunts, because, if you do, then Zach won't go hungry. He needs to give his children wine. So make sure you do that, guys, as well. Check out all the amazing content from these guys, of course, with Travis Goss's Rose-Colored Reviews. Zach and Kyler here Getting Your Nerd On, of course, with Booch as well on his Modest Magic. And Craig with Craig's stuff. And and you can also check out my YouTube channel, of course, youtube.com/TheNerdGenius, if you want to check out loads of videos of my stuff as well. I do have people troll me regularly. I've now gone over 30,000 views on my channel, and I'm 4 likes away, 4 subs away from going to 200 subscribers. So check me out on that as well, guys. And I don't mind people trolling me because it's fun to listen to the comments of people who are just really stupid. So not everyone's stupid, but the trolls are stupid because literally, I had a guy just say that the 3DS is not a console. His opinions don't matter. His mom should have aborted him before he was even born. But there we go, guys. That's everything from us. So this is Michael Burhan speaking on Craig Kellerman, Kylie DePietro, Zack Latour, Jeff Booch, Travis Goss, saying that we've got gameplay. Have you? I can never find the outro on this. This board's got just two. I've got
too much shit on there.
There is, Travis is overloaded it with shit and complete shit, and I always want to end it with exactly freaking betrayal. There it is.
Betrayal! Betrayed me!
There you go. Anyway, guys, this is Michael Burhan. So for everybody else here, we've got gameplay. Have you?